Good morning, and welcome to the secession situation,
where the stakes are higher than Lincoln's hat.
and tempers are hotter than Georgia in August.
I'm Willie Not Secede.
And I'm Confrederick Jones, and ladies and gents, we've got quite the battle on our hands.
It's North versus South, Union versus Confederacy, brother versus brother.
Basically, the worst family reunion in U.S. history.
Let's kick it off with some pregame stats. The Union, also known as the North, is coming in with more money, more factories, more railroads, and more soldiers. They're basically the big team with fancy equipment. Soldiers are fighting so the Union stays together, but they've got no way of life at stake like their opponents.
Meanwhile, the Confederacy, or the South, doesn't have as many resources, but they've got grit, determination, and some seriously loyal fans. Their soldiers are motivated, and they're fighting for their home state's independence. They've got experience, and military tradition is running through their veins.
They're also better on horseback, which will be important if they want a chance at a win.
Let's talk coaches. For the Union, we've got President Abe Lincoln as the head coach. He's a great motivator and solid with speeches. And General George Meade is calling all the players on the field. Meade has just taken his coaching position and has yet to command troops in battle.
And for the Confederates, President Jefferson Davis and the legendary Robert E. Lee, the star coach with a reputation for risky plays and surprise strategies. The Union offered Lee a coaching position, but he declined to stay loyal to his home state, Virginia, and the fans back home.
Rumor has it Lee plans to take the fight up north this time, hoping that one big win on Union soil can bring an end to this war.
That's a bold move, Willie. Let's send it down to Casey, live in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Thank you, team. I'm standing here in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, where the South has officially gone north for this matchup. That's right. Lee brought his army north this time, being the away team for the first time. The battle kicked off on July 1st, 1863, and raged for 3 long days. We're talking cannons booming, muskets firing, and chaos so loud it could probably be heard back in Washington. The Union was led by General George Meade, who has just taken this coaching position. No pressure or anything. And the Confederates were led by General Robert E. Lee, still riding high after several victories in Virginia. Some stats from this matchup. 94,000 Union soldiers are taking on 72,000 Confederate soldiers. Between 46,000 and 51,000 soldiers from both sides will die. On day 3, Lee called for Pickett's charge, sending 12,000 Confederate soldiers straight across an open field onto Union cannon fire. Spoiler alert, it did not go well. When the smoke cleared, the Union came out on top. Lee's forces had to retreat back to Virginia, and Confederate morale tanked. The North was fired up again, and this became a turning point in the war. Well, it's not looking good for us. That was humbling. Maybe the Union will come through in the end.
Yes, Confederate, that was a big win for the North. They had a new dynamic, playing a lot more defense this time. They used a strong fishhook-shaped defense line on high ground, which included Cemetery Ridge, Little Round Top, and Culp's Hill. They used the land to their advantage, moved troops quickly to weak spots, and held their ground under heavy attack.
Yep, and the Confederates played offense this time. During the battle, Confederate forces launched several large attacks, like on the Union flanks at Little Round Top and Culp's Hill. These offensive moves aimed to break Union lines, but were ultimately unsuccessful.
Lee's first major loss on enemy soil. No less, that's gonna sting on the ride home.
Definitely. Gettysburg proved that the North could hold its own and that Lee wasn't unbeatable. From here on out, the Confederacy is playing defense until the bitter end. And just when things looked all dandy for the Union, boom, post-game tragedy. President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in April 1865 by John Wilkes Booth, an actor who clearly didn't understand what break a leg meant.
After Lincoln's death came the Reconstruction era, basically America's messy attempt at a comeback season. We'll get more into this after this commercial break. Do you ever wish you had something to light your path on those cold, snowy nights? Well, now introducing the new and the only just now seen light bulb. You can get this for just a little price of 40 cents.
Lincoln's plan was pretty relaxed. His 10% plan said that once 10% of a southern state's voters pledged loyalty to the Union, that state could rejoin. He wanted to reunite the country quickly, not punish the South.
Then came Andrew Johnson, who had a more moderate approach to Reconstruction. Former Confederate leaders were back in power, and little really changed. He required Southern states to ratify the 13th Amendment, reject secession, and pay off war debts to rejoin the Union.
Finally, the radical Republicans took over Congress. They were like, nope, we're tightening the rules. They wanted real change. Freedom, rights, and equality for formerly enslaved people.
Reconstruction brought real progress for formerly enslaved people. Freedmen's schools were built across the South, giving thousands of African Americans their first chance at an education. Many also found new job opportunities, started businesses, and even held political offices for the first time. The right to vote gave freedmen a voice in shaping their communities and rebuilding the country.
But alongside these gains came serious setbacks. Southern states passed black codes, unfair laws designed to limit the freedom of African Americans and keep them in low-paying, controlled labor. Groups like the Ku Klux Klan used violence and terror to scare black citizens from voting or gaining power. Discrimination and racism continued in nearly every part of life, keeping true equality out of reach for decades.
So while Reconstruction sparked hope and progress, it also showed how difficult it would be to achieve real justice and lasting change in America.
Well, there you have it.
The Battle of Gettysburg, Lincoln's assassination, and Reconstruction.
We'll see you next time.